me a short video. I'm really disappointed in myself that I didn't come on here and um, tell you guys about this prophecy before the verdict came out. But when on the first day of the trial of the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion case, I was talking to God and I was asking him what is going to happen with this case? And the first thing I saw was an open vision, and it was really short. I saw Tory Lanez, and he was sitting in the courtroom, and I guess the verdict had gone out inside of the courtroom, and I saw him get up out of his seat, and there were handcuffs immediately put on him, and he had his hands behind his back. God showed me this on the first day of the trial. As the couple days have passed, and I'm telling you, as there's a God in heaven, I'm telling you, on everything that I believe in Jesus Christ, He showed me that Tory Lanez was going to go to jail. As I was watching this case play out in the days, I was doubting. I doubted God, and He showed it to me. But as again, I'm gonna say, as there's a God in heaven, I saw Him in a vision with His hands behind his back, and that He was being handcuffed. If you were someone that was following this case, and you saw the details of what was going on in that courtroom, you would have doubted the vision as well, because I'm not gonna lie, his lawyer was very good. He got a very good lawyer. Also, the prosecutor was very good for Megan Thee Stallion's case. Free Tory. Look, the man is guilty, and we all know this, okay? And there was a witness that was called to give a testimony. I believe he was one of the last witnesses. This was the man that lived next to the street that this whole thing happened on. When he was giving his testimony, again, there is no real image of this man, but God showed me what this guy looked like. This guy is a short man, and he is not of American descent. Like this man, and he has a weird face, and he has white hair. And as like people were talking about his testimony, I was literally seeing this man. Like I was seeing his face, and then he was like older, and he was like an old dude, and he was short. He's not a tall person. Like I was literally seeing him, and I was listening to this person that was talking about the case, and they were like communicating with another person that was in the courtroom, and they were describing this gentleman, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy, because I was seeing his face as he was like giving his testimony, this dude. And I guess there was at some point the guy would like broke down because he was so traumatized by the whole ordeal, because he described a scene where I guess when they had shot her, and him and his Tory Lanez and his security driver guy, the security slash driver, at some point when they heard the sirens, the cops was coming, they kind of like panicked to like they were trying to decide if they wanted to throw her in the river or take her, and they decided to drag her body to the car. But again, I started doubting God, because I was like, there's a lot going on in this case. I never for a minute thought that he was innocent. And if you played my video back that I talked about her case, I've always stated that I 100% believe this man shot her. And but the way the case was going, I was starting to doubt the vision, because I was like, this can go either way. But God was showing me initially when the first day of the court proceedings, I saw him going to jail. I saw him with handcuffs. Now, most people thought with the case how everything was going, because his lawyer was really coming back at the prosecutor hard. I'm not gonna lie. Both of those lawyers were top notch lawyers, okay? And the whole purpose of the lawyer being there, that lawyer, the specific lawyer he picked, he's very good at what he does, is to muddy the waters, muddy up the whole scene, so that people can just kind of be confused as to what's going on. Just muddy everything up. That was the purpose, just to throw a monkey wrench in all of it, so to cause confusion. But it is a good thing that he is able to get convicted of these crimes, because if he had escaped this crime, you would have saw him stay in the United States and kill somebody within a year. I 100% believe if he got away, he would have killed someone. And then people were gonna say, "Why didn't we do something before that? Why didn't we do something? We should have known. We should have seen the signs." But he was gonna kill someone, and the August Alsina case that he has to still fight later, it doesn't look good for him, because now that he's been found guilty in all three of those charges, they're going to bring that into court with August Alsina's case. And you can do that. You can bring up prior convictions and court proceedings that didn't go in your favor. And if the justice system saw you as guilty, that can be added into another pending case. It's not looking good for this dude. I believe that when a person sins like this, when a person commits such a heinous act against another as to violence like this, when you do other things within that sin, like the whole thing with him showing up to her concert a couple months afterwards with the baby, the other rapper, the baby, and trying to get on stage with her, taunting her. I can't imagine what it feels like to be going about your day doing your job, because at the end of the day, that's her job, right? Whether it's a sinful job or not, the rap career stuff. Going about your day doing your job, and here comes the guy that committed a heinous, violent act, the perpetrator that did something so horrific to you, coming to you, coming to your place of business where this person's not allowed, where you should feel safe doing your job, and taunting you. I can't imagine that happening. That's a horrible feeling. And in addition to that, taunting and harassing this woman online. This is crazy. What he did to this woman was horrible. The music video that he had, I didn't even know this video was existed, because I had to like look up certain things, because I don't listen to Tory Lanez. But there's a music video of him cutting up a horse's leg, the play on words, making the stallion, the horse, butchering a leg with blood all over an apron. That is disgusting. That is a disgusting thing to do. I'm glad he got deported. I am glad that there's some justice for this case. At the end of the day, I'm still not a fan of Megan Thee Stallion. I think she pushes whore and slut culture and lasciviousness. But at the end of the day, there was still a crime committed against her, a heinous, horrible, violent act. And just because you don't like someone or the way they carry themselves does not mean that you have to be very biased towards them if something wrong happens to them, because that's the way God looks at it. You know, there's a many times in our life where we weren't probably the best people, and other people committed horrible acts against us, or judged us, or slandered us, and God still judged in your favor and looked out for you, even in your sin. Because at the end of the day, there's a right and a wrong. Now, I don't know what his life is going to be like going back to Canada. I believe that's where he's from. He's Canadian or something. But he will be deported back to Canada. And he's facing jail time for this. Now, there's a lot of people supporting this man, Tory Lanez, going on and on and on about how, he's guilty, he's not guilty, blah, blah, blah. You are wrong. He is guilty. He's 100% guilty. What happened? Did the gun just go off and shoot her on its own? It's ridiculous. If you feel that, if you're supporting Tory Lanez, that's on you. But at the end of the day, God showed me again, he going to jail. I should have came on here and gave the prophecy. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, doubting God, because there's been many times that God has told me something and I'm like, God, I don't know. This doesn't look. And he's like, I'm telling you, this is what happened. He even told me something about Kevin Samuels before he died. I remember it. It was very specifically. I was in my kitchen over there and I was preparing some food. And God said to me, Kevin Samuels will be exposed as a homosexual. I was like, wow, what? And this is before this man died. I was like, wait a minute. Because he always seemed very effeminate to me, you know? But I don't personally know if he's gay, but I remember specifically God said to me, Kevin Samuels will be exposed as a homosexual. And when he died, there was a man that came out that was his roommate. He was living with a man, and the guy was saying basically, no, the guy was saying basically that they were in an intimate relationship. A lot of people don't talk about this because there's a lot going on around his whole death and the way he died. It was just so crazy that a lot of people didn't focus on that one story. But if you look this up, there's a couple videos online, and you'll even see like sometimes the man passes in the background of his video, but he was living with a homosexual man, and they were sharing like an apartment together. They were roommates, and they were saying that he was also with this man. Hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, there's justice has been served. I hope Megan Thee Stallion takes a lesson from this whole ordeal, and I hope she really changes her circle in her life. And I really have to apologize for the video that I put out because there was a specific part in the video where I was saying, "Oh, you shouldn't underestimate your friends when you do something to your friend that they shouldn't you shouldn't expect them to look out for you." When this case came out, and that the neighbor's testimony, that is what really like made me double think that. Like, I apologize to Megan Thee Stallion. I'm sorry for what I said because I understand why she let go of her friend now. That neighbor said that that woman that was her best friend was beating the crap out of her. All all three of those individual, Tory Lanez, his driver, and the woman, he said that all three of them was beating the crap out of her. He said that it looked like they wanted to kill her. I don't care how mad you are. You don't do nothing like that to your friend. What? You don't beat the crap out of your friend with a man and a security guard? Are you serious? With friends like that, who needs enemies? At first, I was like on her side because I thought that there was some type of like, like she was being treated unfairly, but she really was not. Lady, she better get her life together, man. Her friend, ex-friend Kelsey, you are dead wrong for what you did. You do not beat up another female with two men. All three of you wailing on that woman, and it's being said behind the scenes in the industry that the reason why she didn't bring that part up is because it was embarrassing. Here she is, superstar rapper Megan Thee Stallion with his hard exterior, getting wailed on by a female and two men, getting her butt handed to her, whooping her. And all the while, her friend kept coming on social media talking about Megan didn't protect me. But the whole time, she was protecting her because she could have added that to her case and made sure both of them had a conviction. That's assault and battery, and assault with a deadly weapon. She could have been added to the case as well and faced jail time. She should feel blessed that she didn't add her to that case or have a separate conviction for her as well. At the end of the day, she did protect her friend, regardless if her friend perpetrated against her. That's insane. This whole thing is crazy. This is one of the craziest court cases I've ever seen. It is insane the amount of twists and turns and just wild acts I've seen come out of this court case. I don't know how the judge followed along any of it. All the while, Tory Lanez, he spent a couple $1 million on campaigns, media campaigns to discredit Megan Thee Stallion, paid off a couple people. He spent a tremendous amount of money during this whole time because his freedom was on the line. I understand. You know, there's many people that got paid off during this whole case. Excuse me. Many of them. I'm sure he said he spent a couple million, but at the end of the day, it didn't work. That did not work. It wasn't enough. It just was not enough. His time has come. There are many, many more people that he has been violent towards. If you look up his ex girlfriend, one of his ex girlfriends said that he used to physically abuse her. There's other people surviving Tory Lanez. The man is a violent, Napoleon complex idiot. Because of his violence and his lack of morality, now he's lost his freedom and he's going to get deported right back to Canada. There ain't no more career for him. He can't come back here. Can he tour here? I don't know. I don't exactly know how this works, but he can't live here. He can visit. That's if he gets out of jail. I don't know how long he'll be in jail, but he's going to be in jail for a long time. And he's also facing other charges for assaulting August Alsina. Hey, it is what it is. Again, I should have trusted God, but it's just like I was watching the case as the days were going by, and I'm like, wow, it really could go in his favor. Again, I want to point out, I never thought he was innocent, but it could have gone in his favor because of the legal system and the way they were presenting the case. All of the details. That's why I was thinking like I'm here one day, then the next day I'm like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna go, you know. But I'm glad he's been convicted on all three charges. Again, all three charges he's been convicted on. Hi sister, what's happening? I've missed your video and the beginning of this, love. I hope you and your beautiful babies are well. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yes, they're well, they're sleeping. Well, my friend, I was talking about the Tory Lanez case. He just got convicted on all the charges from the court proceedings just like a few minutes ago. I just got the update. Like everyone's watching the case. So he will be deported and he's also going to jail. So that's what I'm talking about. And again, Lord Jesus, I'm so sorry because you showed me the end of this case and I didn't believe you. It's just like I need to really trust in God more because he's been really telling me a lot and I've just been like, I don't know, God, like I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna, but he showed me this man, as God is my witness. He showed me Tory Lanez getting handcuffed behind his back in the courtroom because I asked him, what's going on with this case? Like, what's gonna happen? But anyway, justice has been served. I hope she changes her life, man. I hope she really changes her surroundings as well. But at the end of the day, again, I ain't no fan of Megan Thee Stallion. I think she as well is very shady. That whole stuff with her music label, you know, her basically lying on that dude, talking about he was like putting her in some horrible contract, which came out to be false. She is shady as well. But just because she's shady and she a mean girl and got some real sketchy stuff going on with her personal life doesn't mean that she deserves to be shot up. That's very extreme to deem that as some type of reaction or some type of well-deserved action for a shady, mean girl, slutty person. That I shouldn't say that, but somebody that pushes slut culture. That's not really, yeah, that's not something that should be acceptable. to wish harm on people just because you don't like the way they operate. You know, it's just that's not godly. That's not a righteous person to think something like that. That's not somebody after God's heart. But anyway, that's all I gotta say, y'all. I'll be checking some of the reactions because I'm interested to see how some of these people will be reacting to this verdict. Because, like they say, more than the whole legal system, the court of public opinion seems to be the loudest. Anyway, y'all stay blessed in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Bye, y'all.